Hello everyone, I am back with a new story, A Pirate's Choice. Lost and alone, Regan awoke to crispy skin and gritty mouth. She opened her eyes, but the bright sun forced them to shut. With her hands, Regan could feel the sand. Her toes were wet and felt the tickle of waves. I must be on a beach, she thought. Regan called out, "Hello, Mom? Dad?" There was no answer. She crackled her eyelids open, scanning the beach from end to end. She was most definitely alone. Regan pushed herself to the ground, dusting off the sand as she rose. Her head was pounding. Nearby there was a bit of cloth, chunks of wood, and a few other random items from the boat. Coming of age. That's right. She remembered. Her parents had taken her on an island adventure, a coming of age journey they called it. Every young girl, when she reaches the age of 10, must be taken to the Isle of Paradise. Regan's mom had said. It's a tradition that's been followed for generations, her dad added. Regan didn't understand why her parents were taking her to some ancient island. All she cared about was a day off from school to spend lounging on the beach. Now here she was, lying on a beach. It wasn't exactly as relaxing as she had hoped. Suddenly Regan heard a rustling sound. The bushes near the edge of the sand were shaking, but there was no breeze. Something was moving towards her. But what? The Pirate Council. It wasn't a what after all, but a who. A young boy with his hair past his shoulders and skin the color of toasted marshmallows, rolled across the same sand before standing up. His suddenly red cheeks gave away his embarrassment. "Hi, I'm Jake." The boy walked closer to Regan as he spoke. She didn't say a word. "Sorry if I scared you. I tripped on a coconut coming down the path." Jake stared awkwardly at Regan. "I'm not going to hurt you if that's what you're worried about. The council sent me over." He reached out and patted Regan on the shoulder. "Council? What council? Where am I? And where are my parents?" Regan demanded, answers with one hand on each hip. "The Pirate Council, of course. This is the Isle of Paradise. Your parents brought you here to make your choice." Jake turned towards the bushes, motioning for Regan to follow. Regan hesitated. This strange boy was talking about pirates and trying to lead her into a jungle. It didn't seem safe, or real for that matter. "What choice have you got?" Jake called, eating the flesh of a coconut he had cracked open. He had a point. "I'm lost, thirsty, hungry, overheated, and very likely dreaming. What do I have to lose?" she thought. Regan walked with her head held high towards the tree line. Jake gave her some coconut. They walked in silence for several minutes. Regan wanted to ask questions. She just couldn't decide which to ask first. Choosing day. There was a clearing in the tree ahead. Regan could see a small group of people who looked much like Jake, only bigger. Jake led her to a seat in front of other pirates. "Welcome, young Regan. Today is your choosing day," said a woman with braided hair held down a tricorn hat. "I'm sorry, but I don't know what that means," Regan answered. A man with a great white beard spoke up. "Every pirate gets a choice in whether or not to be a pirate. We don't go forcing it on anyone." "But where are my parents? And why didn't they tell me about this?" Regan stammered. "Your parents know you're here. That's all you needed to know," yelled a man with a curly black mustache. The woman with braided hair quickly added, "Your parents chose not to be pirates, but as part of our code they must give you a choice." They aren't allowed to sway you one way or another, or else they forfeit their choice. Regan's choice. Regan had no clue what to do. She started to cry. The group of pirates sat and stared at her in disbelief. After a few minutes, her mom jumped out from behind a tree and pulled Regan into a hug. You can choose whatever you like. We love you either way, her mom added. Regan looked at the pirate council. They were visibly angry. Make your choice, child, they yelled in unison. I choose, not to choose. I'm only 10, you know. How am I supposed to make a choice like this? Regan yelled back. The council members looked at each other with questioning eyes. There was a long silence. And no one ever chose that before, matey, said the curly mustached pirate. I say good enough for me. See you in 10 years. Then he walked back into the jungle. The rest of the council members shrugged their shoulders and followed him.